無名なる夢中を目の見えぬ旅人が歩む。終わりの種はすでに芽吹きを見せている。僕たちはポロスの守護者。ここは僕たちの家。私たちは未来をつなぐ光。七色の願いがここに集い、夜を灯す群星が空に虹を描く。
みんなの決意受け取りました。
Hello, Captains, and welcome to the Hyperion Lounge for version 7.1.
Hello, Captains!
So what are your thoughts after watching that version trailer?
There was plenty of content to share. Plus, it looks like the Gerudo will finally be making its debut. We also saw a scene of floodwater rising. We heard the sound of rain accompanied by suspenseful music. The air was tense. I could feel a big showdown is coming our way.
But for specifics, you're going to want to stay tuned as they'll be unveiled in the main story introduction later on. For now, let's check out the new battlesuit for this upcoming version.
Griseo's new SP battlesuit Cosmic Expression is an SD-type support battlesuit dealing bleed damage. She inflicts bleed trauma on enemies while using a cross as a weapon.
Meanwhile, as an SD-type battlesuit, she deals higher damage to SD-type enemies.
While in battle, Griseo attacks with a laser saber. Casting her weapon skill or triggering her QTE will leave beacons on the field, which appear as round markers at enemies' feet.
When beacons are present, she restores her internal energy by hitting enemies with 4 sequence basic attacks and QTE. Hitting enemies with a combo attack can also restore Griseo's internal energy. When facing SD-type enemies, she can cast combo attacks to collect Stardust remnants and enhance her attack.
But what does internal energy do?
Internal energy is kinetic energy for battlesuits. Griseo will also be able to grant her team Stardust navigation status, allowing teammates to use Stardust remnants to deal higher damage to enemies' max HP. When internal energy is full and beacons are present, Griseo will consume all of her internal energy to cast her special weapon skill.
Her special weapon skill expands the beacon's range and immobilizes enemies caught within that range. Then Griseo will summon a colossal meteorite that descends from above to hit enemies within the beacon's range, dealing physical bleed damage.
Right after casting her special weapon skill, you can tap Ultimate to cast her ultimate. A meteorite will descend from above just as before, but this time, she cuts it with her laser saber before it lands, causing it to explode. Molten pieces of meteorite inflict bleed trauma on enemies within range and increase the max stack of bleed inflicted by teammates.
After the version 7.1 update, Griseo's new weapon, Anchor of the Voyage, and Priarm, Anchor of the Voyage Interstellar, will also be released.
This weapon isn't just a gift from Vil V. It's the product of Griseo bringing together her childhood dream and adulthood mission after growing from a young painter into an intergalactic traveler.
The stigma set recommended for the new battlesuit, Passionate Dedication, will also go live. This set depicts the 3 stages of Van Gogh's life as an artist.
Griseo's core design contains plenty of elements that pay homage to Van Gogh. It really suits Griseo's artistic identity. Captains who are interested can obtain it through the supply event.
Having introduced Griseo's new battlesuit, we're ready to move on to the story.
In Chapter 42, Sa, who had been pulling the strings for the entirety of Part 1.5, has finally come to the forefront. How will Griseo and Fu Hua confront this mysterious enemy? You'll have to play the story to find out.
And run into a familiar face we haven't seen in a long time along the way.
Plus, a new boss fight awaits. It begins with a downpour. Sa is hiding in the sky, in the eye of the storm. Fu Hua and Griseo will need to reach the sky and defeat Sa head-on to put an end to the deluge.
In this boss fight, you'll control different forms of Fu Hua to counter Sa's attacks. Meanwhile, Griseo will play a supporting role and help Fu Hua. As the fight begins, Griseo will create a path for Fu Hua with her paintbrush, allowing Fu Hua to travel through the dark clouds and into the eye of the storm.
There, Fu Hua and Griseo will take on Sa. At this point, Sa will appear as the three afflictions. These afflictions will work together to launch powerful area of effect attacks at the ground from in front, and chant and fire homing missiles from behind.
The three afflictions can also change their statuses. Afflictions in front will increase in number to fire off area of effect sonic blasts more frequently. Meanwhile, the afflictions in back will fire cannonballs from behind.
Then, the three afflictions will work together to fire a special laser. During this time, Griseo will grant Fu Hua a shield which will refract the laser and disable the afflictions in back for a short time.
These are just Sa's early stages. She will take on a form mimicking the creator in the latter half of the fight. She gives up her body to her ambition of becoming a god with the power to rewrite the world's laws. And so, it's up to Fu Hua to stand against Sa, relying on her own beliefs. And there will be more than one pair of eyes watching the battlefield from the dark.
As for what happens next, you'll just have to wait for Chapter 42.
Aside from the main story, the limited time event Interstellar Simulation will also be available in version 7.1. Captains can participate in simulated training for piloting the Ark. Through the 3 training modules, Voyage Guide, Nebula Warp, and Galaxy Evolve, captains can learn how to pilot this massive spaceship, take on multiple challenges, and embrace the infinite stars.
After entering the Ark, captains can follow the guidelines and reach the different cabins for each training submodule. You'll find 3 different training submodules on board: Battle, Supply, and Random Event. Each submodule requires you to rely on different actions and strategies to complete it. After completing the corresponding training, you'll receive an event item, Odyssey Beacon. The shorter the time used in battle, the more beacons you'll be rewarded.
Aside from the standard Voyage Guide training module, Nebula Warp and Galaxy Evolve will also feature 2 special weather conditions, Comet Shower and Coronal Storm, both of which are specifically meant to improve your risk management skills.
We've also prepared plenty of buffs for our captains during gameplay. During the Supply Training submodule, you'll receive a random global buff, which will last until the challenge ends. This will provide immense help to captains when clearing the stages.
Before entering battle training, captains can tap Obtain Temporary Buff to get a buff through rudder turn or cable link to aid in the next battle. In some challenges, you'll also gain more path rewards. Play multiple times to find the best strategy.
After completing the simulation training and finally reaching the gangway, you can infuse the Odyssey beacons you've obtained into the gangway, adding to its ascension level. The higher the ascension level, the more event tokens Starry Compass you can receive.
You can exchange Starry Compass for 4-star event Stigma, Kiana, Cramming Top, Cosmic Expression Fragments, Ancient Willpower, Crystals, and more at the event shop.
In addition to the main story event, make sure you also play the featured event, Starry Voyage Strike Back.
Starry Voyage Strike Back is a story about Griseo's exploration traveling with the Ark 1,500 years ago. During this journey, she'll command Honkai beasts to fight in battle and lead everyone in storming the enemy's base.
This featured event has card strategy gameplay. Griseo will have different cards in her hand, which can be dragged to place them in the right spots on the field. This allows ally units to attack along the designated route in auto battle. The energy progress bar will be charged over time, but placing a card will consume energy. So distributing your energy carefully in battle is a key factor for victory.
There are basic counter methods between different cards. For example, ranged cards are strong against flying cards, but weak against melee cards. Using these counter methods effectively is another important tactic to victory.
Before entering battle, you can choose from one of 4 colors of paint: red, yellow, blue, and mixed. Each of the 4 paints has their own unique combo skill, which can affect the strategy for your chosen cards. For instance, if you choose the red paint, you should pick more red cards when building your deck to fully unleash the red combo skill's potential.
There are 2 other strategic considerations for paint decks. First, each type of paint has a corresponding exclusive magic card, located at the right side of the card section. After consuming a certain amount of energy in battle, you can use this magic card without expending any energy.
Another strategic consideration to make is which leader corresponds to which type of paint. When the leader is on the field, you have to consume energy at the opportune moment to cast their leader skill.
As expected with card strategy gameplay, every decision is crucial.
And that's what makes it so much fun.
Featured event stages are separated into daily stages and challenge stages as usual. Captains have to use limited color cards in battle, and the energy consumed by the cards will be mixed up. Every time a card is placed, the energy required for all cards will be reset.
You can gain more experience from clearing daily stages and increase your traveler level. In addition, you will also receive Stellar Paintbrush, which can be used to obtain more cards and increase your card's star level.
In challenge stages, you can build your deck freely and even get an emblem that records your highest stage cleared, the Starbound Chart emblem.
Captains can participate in the event to get Starchasm Nyx's new outfit, crystals, energy devices, Honkai Shards, and more.
Additionally, the main screen will be reworked in version 7.1.
After Part 2's main story is updated, captains can move to the main screen while operating in the base. Then, the background of the main screen will change according to your location. To match the different scenery as much as possible, the development team has launched this design for the main screen.
The Valkyrie, Prep, and Lineup screens will also be updated. The new UI will not only adjust the appearance and style of each screen, but also optimize its usability. For example, on the Gear Swap screen, you can equip and switch weapons and stigmata at the same time.
On the Valkyrie screen, a convenient word sense induction function and character skill demo screen have been added. In the lineup screen, you can also edit the team via a single interface, and there'll be a new quick lineup function too.
The new lineup screen will also display Valkyries with 3D animations. Furthermore, a new recommendations tab will be added to the battle screen, showing the available events and main story chapters in the current version. Below that, an animated display of the standard gameplay will be available, serving as a memo for captains.
That sums up the interface update in version 7.1. But this isn't just a one-time effort. In future versions, we'll continue to polish other interfaces as well.
Along with the interface update, we'll also be rolling out an important system optimization. After the version 7.1 update, download resources on the iPhone in the app game will be upgraded to manage resources.
This will allow you to delete audio and visual resources of some chapters and unused voiceover languages to save space.
And with the system update out of the way, let's talk about version bonuses.
4 events will be held over time. They are Starry Voyage Strike Back, Chapter 42, Summer Survival Rhapsody Side A Rerun, and Hot on the Trail.
During the event, there are 4 event-specific missions and 1 login mission. Complete any 4 of them to claim Hersher of Sentience on the See Sensational Sentience panel. Is this a gift from the great Hersher of Sentience herself?
Hooray for Hersher of Sentience!
That's all for the version overview. And now, on to the new outfits. First up is Hersher of Rebirth's new outfit, Eternal Night's Embrace. Unlike her default outfit, it uses contrasting black and blue hues to allude to death and life.
It's so detailed. The decoration at its center looks like a spider lily at first glance, but is actually a rose wrapped in ribbon.
And there's an accessory that looks like a crown on her head, which reminds me of Zayla. Very cute.
Combined with the wing on her skirt, the outfit has an airy look. After changing into this dress, her summons Diana and Flora will also sport a brand new look. You can obtain it through the outfit supply, so make sure not to miss out.
The second outfit is Terminal Aid 0017's new outfit, Saccharine Lashout. It looks pretty cute compared to her default outfit. Does the name mean she's going to pummel you, but sweetly?
Well, one thing's for certain. Her fists definitely aren't sweet. But if you're interested, you can purchase it with B-chips at the mall.
That's not all. Another old friend of ours has changed into a new outfit. It's Starcasm Nyx's new outfit, On Fair Clouds. Fluttering and spotless. We're finally going to see Zayla in a white dress.
She might be wearing white, but she hasn't lost her inward darkness. The artist adorned her shoulders and wrists with black accents.
I have to own this beautiful Zayla outfit the moment it comes out. If you want it as well, remember to participate in the featured event.
Up next is the Total Top-Up Bonuses event. During version 7.1, top up 6,480 crystals or B-chips in total to pick one from Palatinus Equinox rank-up stamp, Infinite Ouroboros rank-up stamp, and Ancient Legacy. Bonuses also include Expansion Supply Card, Focus Supply Card, SP Supply Card, and Ancient Willpower.
And now, there's one final segment. I bet you want to hear more about Part 2, right? Well, that's what we're here to talk about.
Part 1 began in the year 2016 and actually ended in the year 2018.
So only 2 years have passed in the game.
Let's put that entire timeline in perspective. Part 2 will take place on Mars. The time when their civilization was about to be destroyed by finality was about 1 billion years ago on Earth.
About to be destroyed. So was it destroyed or not?
I can't reveal that now. What I can reveal is that the incidents here are closely linked to an important setting in Part 2. And further down the line, 250 million years ago on Earth, Venus, where Sa was located, was destroyed by finality. This was actually mentioned in Part 1.5.
Eons after Venus was destroyed, dinosaurs went extinct on Earth.
Look to the right. Some years after the finale, in 2023, 2 Earthlings landed on Mars to explore. I'm sure you already know who they are after watching the trailer for Part 2.
And after that is a whole new story. But there's one thing that's worth mentioning. At the end of this timeline is, as we all know, a post-Honkai Odyssey. But what's happened between all those years?
We'll be sure to tell you the whole story in future versions.
So many things are connected now. Hearing all that really makes me look forward to the new version and Part 2 even more.
And that concludes this Hyperion Lounge. Captains, see you all next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Captains!